Senator Lindsey Graham recently unveiled his national abortion ban. So now he introduced this ban that would ban abortion in the United States after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Now, it's kind of strange because Republicans had promised that they were not going to do or to seek a federal abortion ban, and yet here's Lindsey Graham doing just that, which led to Representative Jamie Raskin to call out Republicans and their shifting narrative on this very issue. Here's part of that speech.
Now, originally, they said, well, Roe versus Wade is settled precedent. We accept that. Then they packed the court with their justices who were determined, hell-bent on overturning Roe versus Wade, and they did it. Then we heard from our friends across the aisle, well, this is a matter for the states. Let the states decide. And now we hear from our colleagues in Congress, no, they want a national criminal ban on the right of women to make their own decisions about their health, their families, their careers, and their futures. And then they will even allow states to go beyond that to completely ban abortion, which is, of course, the essential pro-life position, which we've heard from our colleagues across the aisle.
All right, so, oh, that's interesting. Their pro-life position all across the aisle, and yet now Lindsey Graham says we're going to do an abortion ban. But before they said, oh, well, we're just going to leave it up to the states. They seem to be missing, or I should say moving the goalposts around quite a bit. They don't seem to know exactly what they're doing. Oh, interesting. So now Raskin did also mention later on in a different part of the speech where some Republicans are kind of shying away from Graham's legislation and the abortion issue. Gee, I wonder why. He said this, quote, I thought we were going to be distracted with Republican calls to ban abortion across the country. Well, the polls must be teaching them something because I'm not hearing about abortion today. So he also went on to say that polls show a majority of Americans are on the side of freedom and the rights of women and men and families to make their own decisions and not to have those decisions made by Lindsey Graham. So, okay. Now, I love this for a couple of reasons. For one, hey, look at Democrats being strong. Wow. Calling out Republicans, calling out their duplicity on this issue, talking about how, oh, it turns out that if they can shift this position, even after saying, oh, I'm going to ban abortion, I'm going to ban abortion, I'm going to ban abortion. And then some of them say, oh, no, never mind. Yeah, that looks really bad in the polls. Not a popular position. That's really interesting to point that out. And I think it's really good because this is an issue that is, again, very important to a lot of people, reproductive freedom. And women have decided, and not just women, but of course, you have, trans men, as well as non-binary folks who, have uteruses, who are affected by this, that are coming out and saying, I'm not at all interested in Republicans making these decisions for me, much less, in my state, much less having a national abortion ban. The whole thing is ridiculous. But look, here's the thing. We know the Republican position has been ban abortion. They spent decades trying to do it, and when Roe was overturned, they cheered loudly for it. They got exactly what they wanted, and they said, we're going to ban abortion. And then they found out that they made a huge mistake, at least when it came to politically, because they ended up losing some primaries, as well as even a ballot measure in Kansas. Kansas is not a liberal bastion, but here you had women saying, no, we don't accept this. We want to make our own decisions here. We don't want you to completely ban abortion. And then after that, you had a lot of Republicans saying, oh, did I say we were going to ban abortion? Oh, I meant we were not going to ban abortion. For example, Scott Jensen, he put out an ad saying, I'm not going to overturn reproductive rights in our state. No, that's settled. The governor can't do that anyways. What are you talking about? That's settled issue. It's precedent. Now, he happened to come out with that position after he had lost 18 points in the polls. There's more. You also had, in Arizona, Senate candidate Blake Masters, who scrubbed his website. Scrub dub dub, gonna get rid of all that stuff. By the way, his abortion stance was supporting a federal personhood amendment. You know, the thing that would declare fertilized eggs to be human beings, to full, complete human beings with all constitutional rights from the moment of conception. Even Mississippi voters said, yeah, that's a little too extreme for us. Pull it back, pull it back. But that was Blake Masters, had that on his website until, turns out, this issue was very unpopular with voters. Scrub a dub dub, gotta get rid of it. And in Washington, Republican Senate hopeful Tiffany Smiley has tried to, in her words, walk a fine line in both in supporting the total abortion ban in Texas, but promising that, oh, I think it should be left up to the states. So then what's Lindsey Graham doing? Lindsey Graham is out there saying, oh, no, I'm going to listen to the extremists in the party that are still pushing for us to do a federal abortion ban. I'm just going to put it up. So that's causing huge divisions within the Republican Party. For example, you have Senator Shelley Moore Capito, who's a Republican from West Virginia, saying, I don't think there's an appetite for a national platform here, you know, for Lindsey Graham's bill. I'm not sure what he's thinking here, but I don't think there will be a rallying around that concept. You also had Mitch McConnell coming out and saying, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So, now, again, the reason, of course, is that all this is, these abortion bans are just incredibly unpopular with the voters. Turns out Americans like freedom. Yeah, who knew? Oh, right. Everybody. Or at least everyone should know. Now, the other thing is, Raskin does a great job in pointing out how because, you know, that they're running from, a lot of them are running from their own so-called pro-life position. Turns out that it never really was about life. It's always been about controlling women's bodies. Of course. This has always been a culture war issue. Again, this has been, you know, the abortion issue, for example, and I forget if it was the original Falwell. No, I believe it was Franklin Graham, though I'm not entirely sure. Those, you know, moral majority guys. It wasn't until a couple of years after the Roe decision where Republicans, the right wing, finally decided, oh, turns out, it's life after all. Oh, look at that, it's life. And we need to be anti-abortion. No, the reason that they originally glommed onto that as a party and putting that into their platform is because their message before was tax cuts for the rich and corporate deregulation. That didn't sell well with the average person. But you know what did? Pro-life. Oh, no, you know, we're totally pro-life, except that none of our policies are actually pro-life at all. I mean, we're not pro-healthcare. We're really not pro, you know, food for everybody, housing for everybody. No, we're not pro-life in any of that regard. And the things that people actually require to live, not pro any of that. We're just pro-fetus. And that's what it really is. It's pro-fetus, pro-birth, pro-forced birth. That's their platform. And again, the reason that they did that is just in order to allow them to facilitate their robbery of the middle class.